Hello everyone, welcome to Power Up Careers. I believe that everyone is doing good now. This is my fourth video on Cloudflare, and this video is especially related to the custom cache rules, how we can set custom cache rules over Cloudflare. I believe that not everyone, but most of the people are using the Cloudflare nowadays, and very small people, they know like how to define the custom cache rules. By default you will get some settings that is enabled by default, but like when you talk about more performance and reliability, then you know how to define the custom things. So in this video our target is to teach you how to define your custom cache rules. So I hope that you have checked my previous videos as well, that is on Cloudflare. If not, then I suggest, if you want to know more basic things, you can check out part first, then part 2, then part 3, and this is the part 4. Now in this video our major concern is custom cache rules, right? Now before going ahead, we understand what is cache, right? After that we will learn about cache rules. Okay, now we talk about the cache. So what is that? Cache is a way to store copies of your website content. It can either image, CSS, JavaScript, even HTML pages as well, on Cloudflare global servers, or you can also say on S servers, right? And what we get, like once we start the cache, then what we get it from this, we will get these things. First one is speed up website loading. How you can achieve that? Because when Cloudflare store your website content copy in their servers that is available globally, so if someone try to open your website, then instead of user sending to your original server, Cloudflare fetch out the copy from their nearest server and show it to the client. So that is the first advantage you get after implement cache. Then second is reduce server load. Of course, suppose there are 10 users, 5 users, more than 10 users, more than 50 users, and when they are trying to open your website, then Cloudflare showing the website copy content, that is exactly website copy content, to the end user. So your server is safe due to this request are not generating on your origin server. So that's why you reduce server load. If you reduce the, or if you save the server load, it means you can save bandwidth, right? Not everyone is using the unlimited bandwidth. They have very limited bandwidth, they very limited plan on their hosting server, that is save as well from this. And the last one is improve user experience. Now why I am mentioning improve user experience? Suppose your user is coming, or your user is trying to open your website, and once they hit the URL, and your website will load within a second. So of course it makes user experience better. That's why I mentioned it help you to improve user experience. So these things are very important nowadays, right? If you talk about the website things, either it can be web app, right? So I hope like you get the basic things about cache. Now you suppose you have the Cloudflare account, and you are not going to define the custom cache rules, you are not going to define this, and or you don't know how to define it. So by default you will get some basic setting about cache. Right now we are going to learn to handle the extreme cache things, right, that is available under the Cloudflare without any cost. Means you will set 10 custom cache rules under the free account of Cloudflare. Okay, okay, okay. Now we are going to understand about Cloudflare cache rules, right? This thing we are going to learn now, cache rules. So basically it allows you to define precisely how your website content is cached and delivered by its CDN, right? With again precisely, make sure you heard about precisely what that is more important, right? I'm focusing precisely, right? So means you have control over every part of your cache once you define the Cloudflare cache rules. And which type of control you will get? So under the Cloudflare cache rules you will get, or you will fine grained control over factors like cache eligibility. Okay, I'm just write down so that you can understand. Cache eligibility. Second one is cache duration. Cache duration, that is stand for TTL. Then we have the other interaction features over the Cloudflare like cache reserve. So I hope guys you understand what is cache rules. I just define within a minute. Once again, cache rules allow you to define precisely how your website content is cached and delivered by its CDN, and these control offer you cache eligibility, cache duration, and interaction with other Cloudflare features like cache reserve. So I think this is enough if we talk about the some basic information about the cloud cache rules. Now we are going to doing the things in a practical way. So as you can see, I am on my Cloudflare account. This is my free account, and there is no domain. I just added a dummy domain name, like you can see invalid name server, because I don't have any control on this domain. But this account is just for telling you how you can do it from yourself. That's why I created this account. Now if we scroll down, then you can see there is a caching. If you click on this, or the cache, if you click, okay, you will land on caching overview page. Here you can see like we have an option for enable cache reserve, then cache analytics. Of course cache analytics is not available under the free account, but I don't think so you need this cache analytics when you talk about on a very basic level, but later on you can use this if you need it. Then you have the cache reserve. Yes, you can do it under the free account. Now we have the configuration, second thing. So suppose before going ahead, I tell you one more thing. Suppose you integrated the Cloudflare with your website or web application, and your developer or you do some changes in your website, but sometime you see like the changes are not reflecting on the front end. Then what happened? Because already cache is already stored in the Cloudflare server, so you have to come over on the caching, then click on configuration, then you have to click on the purge everything, then your changes, once you done this, then your changes will be reflect on the front end, right? So you can see like there is no zone ID, or that zone ID is invalid because there is no domain, that's why it's showing it, right? Then caching levels, so standard ignore no query strings. Then browser cache TTL, this is the by default setting that you can do it. Crawler hints always online. Then development mode, suppose you want to do some changes over the website and don't want to do it again and again, purge this thing, purge again and again. So what you can do it, for some time you can enable the development mode on. It means whatever you do over the website, directly you can see the changes over the browser. Then you have to enable query string sort. Okay, just leave it. This is for the enterprise level. Now we come on the topic, that is cache rules. So cache rule, basically it help you to define these resources should be cached for how long, right? You can define or specify. Now you can see you have used 0 out of 10 available. So in my Cloudflare account currently there is no cache rules. So and maximum I can do it till 10 and not more than 10 cache rule available under the free account. But if you upgrade the plan, you can get more on it. But I believe that 10 rules is enough. If you define it properly, that is enough. Second, now we are going to click on the create rule. Now once you click on the create, then you will land on the cache rule page where you can define the rule, then incoming request match expression. Then you have the option for cache eligibility, HTTL, browser TTL, cache key, substale content while revalidating respect strong e-text, Orient error pass through. Now we check out all the fields on this page, and this time we need to understand each and every field. That is very important, guys. So once you understand each and every field, then you are able to create your own cache rules. I promise you, if you are facing any speed issue with your website or any server load issue, you can easily handle those things here. Right now, first is, if you see, we have an option for the rule name. So in this, it just simply you can define the name of your rule, right? Then we have an option for incoming request match. So here you define the condition for applying the rule, right? You can define the condition for applying the rule, and for this you have two options. One is custom filter expression and the another one is all incoming request. Now if we talk about the all incoming request, what is this? This is for a broad application, right? It matches all type of requests. There is no restriction into it. But now if you want to target a specific request based on the criteria like URL patterns, host names, file type, HTTP headers, or even user agent as well, you have to choose the custom filter expression. Now if we see, all incoming means any type of request it accepts. There is no bounding area. Now custom filter expression, you want to target a specific request, right, based on the criteria. Now you can see, we click on the custom filter expression, then we have an option. We can choose the request type, right, or criteria you can say. Then operator, your request equals to, does not equal to, contains, so on. You can define the values as well. But here I am going to tell editor fraction, because you should know how to write your expression, right? That is more important. So we will learn this thing as well, but first we need to understand each and every field. Now the next one is cache eligibility. Under this you have two options. So you have two options, one is bypass cache and the another one is eligible for cache. Now first we see what is cache eligibility. This determines if the matching request should be cached or not. So if you see the first one is bypass cache, it means requests that match the rule will not be cached, right? You want to skip the cache for that particular criteria of a request. Second one is eligible for cache, means Cloudflare will attempt to cache the content if it meet other caching criteria and origin header permit, right? So you have to, mostly you have to use the eligible for cache, but sometimes you need to use the bypass cache as well. Please stay in this video, I will give you a practical knowledge surely, and we can see like where we have to use these functions. Next you can see you have more cache behaviors, that is hcache-ttl. In this basically you can control how long Cloudflare stores the cache content on each S servers. Then you have the browser cache. It determines how long a visitor browser store the cache content. Then you have the cache key. Basically in the cache key you can define the criteria Cloudflare uses to identify a unique cache resource. I'm not going to tell, because this is very broad topic, but I give you very little bit here, excluding or including query string parameters in the cache key. So later on we can cover in a practical way that is very easy to understandable when we go and do it the practical. Then we have the respect strong e tags. It control how Cloudflare revalidate cache content with the origin server based on e tag header. So origin server here, this is your hosting server where the site is live now. Okay, so I think guys you have know about these fields. Now we are going to create some cache rules that will help you, or it help you to understand the things as well. Now what we are going to do it, we can okay, which type of rule should we create? Okay, now we are going to create a rule that caching the static assets like images, CSS and JS, JavaScript. So we can keep the name static caching assets. Now we have set the rule name. Then we are going to define the custom filter expression. I told you because we should use the expression mode instead of the builder option. Okay, we are going to write one is http protocols of http dot request dot uri then path, then extension, eq equal, eq stand for equal, eq, css, or we can use the operator. Suppose we have more than one condition, or we more than one criteria, then we can use the operators and or. Now or then next criteria http request dot uri dot path, then extension equals to JS, or we have to cache the webp asset as well. Then http.request.uri.path extension equals webp, right? Okay, now you will get this apart from the webp. Suppose you are not going to define the custom cache rules, then this is by default. But suppose I want to cache the webp file as well, or I have to cache the font file .woff, so I can define it here as well. Now we are going to close it. Then okay, after that we have an option for the cache eligibility. We are not bypassing these rules, we have to keep the cache for these files, so we have to keep the eligible for cache. Then we have to customize the cache behavior as well. Then HTTL. Okay, if we click on the plus add setting, here ignore cache control header and use this TTL. What does this mean? This means it will ignore the existing cache control header that is defined in website or not. If it defined, it ignores and then use this one. I can keep the 8 hours or anything, 1 day minimum. Then we have the browser TTL. Again we have to set bypass cache, no, we have to keep it. Overwrite origin and use GTTL means if something is mentioned regarding this in your website, then it will be overrided from this rule. And then here you can define at least 1 month browser cache. Then cache key, no need to define here right now, just deploy it. Okay, there's an issue. http.request.uri.extension. Okay, I define it wrong. Path dot extension, sorry, dot extensions. Then go back. Okay, right now this is the first cache rule. It's very easy. Even if you define the font file, or if you want to define TTF files in the cache, you can define the cache rules. By default you will not be able to cache WOFF or TTF file, that is the font extension file. You are not able to do it under the by default setting of Cloudflare. Got it? Okay, we see like how we can define the eligible cache criteria. Then suppose you are working on a website, right, where you have a admin panel as well. Now what happens? You also want to cache the admin panel? No, right? There is no need to cache the admin panel, all of it. There is no matter of this feed, that is not the front end, right? So in that case, what we have to do it, we have to bypass, or we have to create a rule that bypass the cache of admin area. Now again we are going to create a rule bypass admin. Okay, then yes, custom filter expression, we are going to define it. Edit expression. Okay, we are going to write our expression http.request.uri.path contains, contain is an operator, contains, then what contains? WP dash admin, that is the WordPress admin panel, or you can do it admin, whatever, right? It depends on which URL you are keeping it for the admin cache. Once you done, then click on the bypass cache. You can see all other things as removed because we are going to bypass the cache rules. Sorry, not cache rules, we are going to bypass the cache of this particular admin panel, right? Then deploy it. So now our admin panel will not be cache, right? We have write the rule that bypass the cache server. Now I am going to create one more rule for you. If you want to create a cache on a specific page, so how you can write the things? Okay, cache specific page, whatever name you want to give, you can give it. Then click on the edit expression. Then you can write down the http.request.uri.path equals to blog post title, anything you want to. I am just defining the URL of that particular page. Now eligible for cache, by default keep the same settings, then deploy it. Okay, I can do it, right? You can also do it. This is very simple, guys, so don't worry. Once you learn these things, you are easily to do it, right? So I believe from this you can see the things. If you want to define your own cache rules, you can easily do it, right? Now what I am going to do it, I am going to give you some common HTTP properties for your reference in this video description, so that you can use it along with the operators, right? So don't confuse. So I believe, guys, this video will help you to define your own cache rules, and this is my fourth video on Cloudflare. Again, if you want to learn from the basic, you have to watch out my first part. And surely, guys, if you are going to learn some new things, it will take a time, but once you try it out, you know how to define it, you know how to play with these technologies. So again, I am telling you, these things are very important, so don't skip. Maybe sometime you get bored, but don't leave it, because you will get something from these videos, guys. I created this video only for you. I am sharing my experience. I know I am not too much proficient to define my things, but as per my experience, what I am telling you, that is right, and I believe that will help you to make your career in a better way. So this is, again, I request you guys, please like and subscribe my channel. I'm working on other type of videos as well, like AI and Cloud as well, Gemini, CLI as well. So once Cloudflare topics will finish, we can move on other topics, right? So I request you again, please like and subscribe my channel and help me